What's up, guys? It's you, and welcome back to episode number 4, week 1 of our push to rank 500 series in the UBAHS tier. In the last episode, we were able to get not our rank up to 1325. There may have been a little bit of decay there. I'm not sure. It has been a while since I've recorded. But looking at the ladder, we just need to get to 1487 to cap the series. The goal is 1400 by the end of the week. We're going to see how that goes. So we have a battle. We have a likely Mega Aerodactyl. We have Geomancy Xerneas, so I have to keep Scissor around. Keep Scissor around, Geo. Keep Scissor around. And then we have Latios. We have Chansey, which can be taken down by Scissor. We have Arceus of some sort. Yeah. That's pretty much breaking down his entire team. A lot of these things can do a lot of different things. I'm kind of anticipating a Mega Aerodactyl lead, so I'm leading with Deoxys Attack. I'm going to go straight away for the Ice Beam, because even if he wants to just get up rocks, he is going to die at the end of the turn. He's actually no, he's a bulky set. He's actually going to tank that. I'm going to go for an Ice Beam right here, though, because I'm going to force his switch. I believe I'm going to force his switch. I don't think he's faster than me, although I could very well be wrong. Yeah, he's just going to switch into Chansey, but that's fine by me, because now I can begin stacking hazards and force him to either A, defog and risk allowing Xerneas or Arceus to set up, or B, just leaving hazards on the field, which I don't think would be a great play for him, because rocks don't hurt me that much. They're kind of a nuisance, but I can play around them. I'm going to get up my last layer of spikes here as he just S-tosses. Just fine by me. I'm going to go into my Gengar and see what I'm going to trap right here. I'm going to go for the Sludge Bomb because I think his switch is going to be something like Xerneas or something like Arceus, or he may just sack Aerodactyl. Ends up going into Yveltal. Sludge Bomb is still a neutral hit, but fearing the Sucker Punch, I'm actually going to go out into Rotom, because no matter what this Yveltal tries to do, I can still... He actually goes for the Oblivion Wing straight away, probably predicting my switch, so good play on your part. I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch here, just because unless that is Arceus Ground, which I don't think it is looking at his team, then, ow, that Dark Pulse did a lot, and I flinched. So I lost Rotom right there. That was some crap right there. That's kind of annoying. Anyways. I can't sweep his team with Xerneas until I get Chansey out of the way. So priority number 1 right now is getting Chansey out of the way. I'm going to go into Arceus here because I do think Arceus can take this thing out after an E-Speed, although actually I get a crit, so that's kind of revenge for the flinch that he got on me earlier, which is good. I'm kind of anticipating either a Xerneas or a Latios switch right here, unless he just wants to sack his Aerodactyl to hazards. Actually, it may not die to hazards, but it'll be taken up by an E-Speed. Ends up going into his own Arceus. This is Arceus normal. So this is likely E-Killer. I'm going to go for the E-Speed here. I should probably sub this for Silk Scarf. I'm actually going to go ahead and do that right now. What do we have here? Where's my team? Uber's offense. I'm going to swap this for a Silk Scarf, because usually its coverage moves aren't as important. I end up winning the speed tie. I take his Arceus out with the E-Speed. He ends up going into Latios, which is fine by me. I'm just going to go for another E-Speed. That is a lot of damage, as he ends up T-Waving. So this is like a support Latios. I'm going to E-Speed again, though. He's probably just going to defog here. Ends up going for Memento, which... Oh, I see what he's doing. He's going to force me out from Arceus and go into Xerneas. Alright. I'm actually fine with this. I'm going to go ahead and sack Arceus here, because even though you're going to Geomancy, I have things that can take this on, especially with the extra damage that I got right there. Unless you're like random like priority fire move, then you're gonna end up going down to this bullet punch. You're not gonna want to switch out. Yeah, there we go. So I was able to pull that match out, which frankly was kind of surprising for me. I didn't think I was gonna win that match. I'm gonna go into a Gengar here and proceed to win this little stall war we're about to have. I'm considering just cutting right now, depending on. Okay, you are going to be a jerk. We're going to play this out for 5 more turns if the scenario that I need to win doesn't end up coming up because you're just going to try to spam protect. Then, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Alright. I'm going to predict the protect here and go into scissor. And then hit you with a. Even if you S-toss, you toxic. Alright. I'm going to hit you with the banded superpower, which should be more than enough to take Chansey out. So that is a good game. That gets our rank up. Oh, he forfeits right before the game is over. That gets me up to 1345, which is good. 20 points per battle is something that I'm looking to achieve. We're only 6 minutes in, which is great. Looking at his team, that's probably Scarfed Zekrom, Mega Gengar, E-Killer. Deoxys does a lot of things very well. Geomancy Xerneas, and Multiscale Lugia. So I'm going to lead with Deoxys because I want to get rocks up to break that Multiscale and just basically get a lot of residual chip damage, which is going to be nice. And then we'll see where we go from there. But looking at what I'm going to have to do to win on this team, against this team, I'm going to have to keep Banzor around for Xerneas because I'm expecting him to kind of throw Xerneas in the pot after I lose my Rotom Wash, or I can lure his Xerneas out by or he's just not going to move. That's kind of dumb. Or I can lure his Xerneas out by going into. Actually, I don't have a really good Xerneas lure on this team. I kind of need that. Would probably be Yveltal, but I don't see anything that I immediately want to swap for Yveltal, so. Because Deoxys attack is just amazing at stacking hazards. Probably not as good as Deoxys D, but Deoxys D gets hurt by fast taunt users really bad. If this guy just doesn't move, then I'm actually okay with that. I will be happy to take your points. Dramatica, or no, that's not his name. I wish it was Dramatica. It's Dramatics. Come on, dude, make your move, please. But anyway, I'm surprised by the success we've had in the first week of Ubers, especially because like I haven't played that much Ubers, and I did not expect to be like 1345, almost a 1350 by the by a little past the midway point of the first week. Hopefully he just doesn't come back though, and we can just pick up his points because that'd be really cool. I always appreciate free points. Free points are my friend. Check for lag just to make sure it wasn't on my end. So this is all really, really rad. If he just comes back with like 1 second, I'm gonna be really mad. And I will therefore be hostile towards him to the rest of the match. Never doesn't. Wow. If someone isn't trying to timer stall, then I can understand, just as long as you weren't intentionally timer stalling. You end up just going for the E-Speed to break my sash. That's a good play on your part. I'm just going to sack Deoxys to spikes, or sack it to this E-Speed, and just go for another layer of spikes. I'm going on a Rotom, though. I'm going to a Willow. That's priority number 1, because it will cripple Arceus for the rest of the match, and nothing is really going to appreciate the residual damage. Don't be Lum, don't be Lum, don't be Lum. Alright. Had a little bit of a panic attack there. I'm going to go for the Hydro here because the burn forces him to go for another SD. I get a crit there, which sucks for him. But I'm going to rest because I'm anticipating him the E-Speed. He gets a revenge crit there. But at this point. I'm just kind of stalling him out. The switch into Gengar, I'm going for it, even though it's relatively obvious. He ends up just going for another E-Speed, which is great for me. And I'm going to go back in a physically defensive road. I'm expecting some sort of coverage move. Shadow Claw. There we go. So we played around Arceus relatively well to start off the game. It required sacking my Suicide lead, which I'm not too terribly heartbroken about. I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch here as you get up rocks, but that is going to easily knock Deoxys' attack out because Deoxys' attack literally has no defense whatsoever. However, looking at his team, he has Zekrom left, which Xerneas takes out. He has Gengar left, which rocks break Gengar's potential sash, although I think it's Mega. He has his own Xerneas, and then we have Lugia here. So I think I'm going to go out into Arceus because Arceus has a relatively decent matchup against the majority of his team. Even if he does go out, and he ends up going out into Xerneas. I don't think Xerneas can knock me out with one hit, so I'm going to go for an SD here as you go for the Geomancy, and I'm going to go for the E-Speed because E-Speed will not knock you out, and I end up losing Arceus, which is a bit of a disappointment. But I do have Scissor, and because Xerneas doesn't have any priority, I can easily take this thing out with a Banded Bullet Punch. If you want to switch into Lugia, that's fine. I took out the biggest threat to my team, which is Xerneas, because I don't have like a dedicated special wall, so Xerneas kind of runs train through my entire team unless I get basically a Scissor versus Xerneas in a vacuum. So we'll see. We will see what this person decides to go into right now. I think I'm lagging this time. No. I'm not lagging this time. We're only 12 minutes in. We've only had one match, but we're about halfway through the second one. Doesn't look like this one is going to take much longer. He's just probably contemplating what he's going into next right here. His best switch would probably be Lugia, but he opts for Gengar. I'm actually going to calc this real quick because I'm not sure if a Banded Bullet Punch from Scissor can take him out. Scissor usage, that's choice band. Bullet Punch versus Gengar. Gengar, that's going to do 93 to 109%. We're going to do Mega Gengar just in case. Wow. I would need a high roll, and Shadow Ball is only going to do 55 to 65%. Unless you pack HP Fire, but I'm just going to go for the Bullet Punch here. As that does 81%, so I get a great roll. And now he Perish Trapped my Scissor. Should have seen that coming. But I'm fine with sacking Scissor here. It's having Scissor around is now the least of my worries. Although that is a very, very good strategy. Perish Trap Scissor and then sweep with Xerneas. I could see my opponent's team potentially doing that a lot. And yeah, so I get taken out due to Destiny Bond, which is fine by me. Fine by me. I'm going into Rotom though, because Rotom has a fairly decent matchup versus everything. Ends up going into Lugia, which is fine. I'm going to Willow for residual damage because I know you can't do anything to me. Although you go for a sub. That is annoying. Gosh darn it. So he's probably just sub roost PP stall. And I'm not able to take him out. That's a disappointment right there. I'm going to go into Gengar though because I'm banking on the fact you don't have Psychic Stab. And I'm just going to Shadow Ball here. You're probably like sub roost, Flying Stab, and whatever. And even so, uninvested moves from Lugia aren't really going to do anything to me. Sub roost Whirlwind. Shadow Ball will easily break the sub. You end up going for Whirlwind, which is fine. Whirlwinding me into the deer. You end up Toxicking. That's annoying. I'm gonna go into Gengar now, anticipating the roost. Hopefully Shodan puts me. Yeah, there's Gengar. You end up just subbing up though. That is bad. Sluggy is going to be a pain in the butt to deal with. I'm going to Volt Switch here. As I actually, so depending on rolls, I break a sub. But now I'm in a great position to where he either takes substantial damage with Lugia or switches to Xerneas. He ends up sacking Lugia, or he can't switch to Zekrom. Never mind. Here comes Zekrom though. I'm going to see what Zekrom locks itself in on, and yeah, it's an electric move. He may actually win the match right here. Zekrom versus Xerneas. Bolt Strike is actually going to do a lot from Scarf to Zekrom. I may not live. 63. 63 is the max. Okay. I should be able to take him out with a Moonblast. Yeah, I'm able to barely live. He gets like the highest roll possible. Yeah, he... Alright, so that is going to be that battle. We have enough time for a couple more. We're up to 1372. And that person had a really high rating. Wow. I probably knocked him or her off the top 500 of the ladder. Coming for you next. Hopefully we can grab another battle here, and hopefully my computer just doesn't start really slowing down, because that would be really, really bad. That'd be really, really bad. Come on now. Come on, Showdown. You can do this, Showdown. There we go. You see, you just have to speak to it a little bit. I'm leading with Deoxys, because if you lead with Wobbuffet, then I stack hazards. If you lead with Klefki, I Magic Coat to T-Wave and Swagger you, and then I stack hazards. If you lead with an offensive Mon, I get up a hazard. Probably Rocks. Look, I'm trying to decide whether I want Rocks or Spikes up for this match. But I think I'm just going to want Rocks up for this match, because it does hit the majority of his team neutrally, and it does hit Gengar, because I want residual damage on Gengar as much as possible, because it can allow me to take him out with a banded Bullet Punch from Scissor, depending on rolls. So really, really cool opponent in this match. But we'll see what I Like Donkeys decides to lead with. Hopefully it's Klefki. Hopefully it's Klefki. Ends up leading with Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet. Alright, I'm going to get up Rocks here. So this allows me to stack 2 hazards. As unit going for counter, doesn't matter. I'm going to get up Spikes. So now he knows I am lead Deoxys. Okay, he's going to Encore me into Spikes, which, you know, I've had bigger problems. Because now whatever switches in is going to take some damage, some bad damage here. Gengar might be his best switch. He has 2 trappers, which is actually really cool. I might consider running a variant of some trapping teams, because Gengar, Xerneas, and Arceus are just extremely powerful. Anyway, I'm getting up another Spike. Hopefully you're not sub Paris Song, but even if you are, like, it's whatever. You end up just Sludge Waving, which will take me down to my Sash. No poison though, so I'm gonna go for one last Spike, because that last Spike is really, really gonna matter. And so there goes that. You don't have Geomancy Xerneas, so I'm gonna go into Scissor and Bullet Punch. Hopefully you're not debond. I don't think you're debond though. Just looking at your team, you already have enough trappers. Please don't be debond. Please don't be debond. Okay, you're not debond. You go into Generator Butt, which is Zekrom. That's actually kind of funny. And I'm going to see what you're going to lock yourself in on by going into Rotom Wash, because Rotom is the most expendable member of my team in most matches. And that just dies to a Bolt Strike. However, I know Xerneas can take one, but we're going to see how much Arceus can do. Arceus with an E-Speed versus Zekrom is going to do 40 to 48%. So depending on rolls, I'm not sure I'm going to want to chance it to rolls, though, so I'm going to go into Zekrom. Actually, this might be banded. I think this is banded Zekrom. Yeah, that's banded Zekrom. I was going to say, that did a lot of damage to Rotom. He goes into Wobbuffet, though. I'm really, really fearing the Encore if I go for Geomancy, so I'm going to go for Moonblast. It does 40%. As he ends up encoring, predicting the Geomancy, because a Wobbuffet, frankly, would have been setup fodder for anything else. Against anything else on his team. Oh, whoops, I hit my mic. I apologize, RIP headphone users. But, yeah. He's in a really rough spot right now because even though it's 4-4, I'm down my two most expendable members of my team. Bullet Punch takes out Mega Gengar. Actually, he's going to be able to take out Xerneas right here, but Bullet Punch does a lot of work to the rest of his team, and if I get up a Swords Dance, I can potentially win. I can potentially win, not potentially win. Let me just answer a question. Alright, we'll see what he goes for here. He will outspeed me, and he can probably take me out with the Poison Stab. They're having an argument in the chat. But hopefully he makes a move at some point, because that'd be pretty rad. Pretty rad. Bringing back the rapping biker gang. That was one of my favorite episodes of Fire Rat I've ever done. Sorry, I'm laughing at what these guys are saying in the chat. They were like, I was like, I wasn't going for it anyway. LOL. And Salmon was like, exactly, it was predictable. And I Like Donkeys was like, exactly, wait, LOL, I'm dumb. But hopefully we make a move at some point. Alright, he can't take me out with the Sludge Wave, and I can't take him out with a Moonblast. Nah. Sorry. If I wasn't recording, I would have accepted that, but he ends up Shadow Balling to take me out, which is fine. But now I can go into Scissor, Banzor, and go for the Bullet Punch here, which will either take out his White Knight, it will do serious damage to Arceus. So he is Perish trapping Gengar, but it's not like he's going to be able to do anything about it. And my voice sounds a little deeper because I just woke up, and my voice is a little raspy. So we're gonna actually see what he ends up switching out into here. I'm kind of anticipating a switch to Kyogre, cause it resists my Steel Stab, even though it is banded. But he's gonna lose a lot of power on Water Spout, and I may even be able to 2-hit KO him from there, depending on his spread. If he's Scarfed Ogre, looks like right now he has Scarfed Kyogre. So he's just gonna sag Gengar here, which is, well, that was also probably a good play. So he gets a free switch into Kyogre. we'll see what he ends up going out into here. Salmon does bring up a good point. If I had SD'd on his protect, he's like, I guess, 40 protects in a row. But obviously he wasn't PP stalling. I don't know what he was doing, though. Anyway, Salmon does bring up a good point. If I had a Swords Danced on the protect, then I may have just won the game outright right there. Because Scissor at +2 does a lot of work. And I don't think I've mega'd yet. Yeah, I haven't mega'd yet. I like donkeys. I appreciate that you're talking to me and whatnot. I really do. Like, legitimately. I don't like it when people just, like, don't talk to you and act like they're not in the battle. But, please make a move. Please, 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 please make a move. But, anyways. Probably Kyogre is your best switch right here. Kyogre is your best switch right here. And he just straight up leaves. So that is going to be that match. We've had a lot of waiting today on Showdown, which is kind of disappointing. So I may do one more right here and hope that it's not super long. Okay. So looking at his team, he has Jirachi, which is cool. He has Azumarill, which is maybe banded. He may have dual band, but I'm anticipating Mega Scissor. He has Giratina O, which is less seen, but it's probably an offensive variant. Then we have this thing, so I need to keep Scissor around. Basically, oh wow, just straight out the gate. All right, I have to Ice Beam here for damage, and because I'm anticipating Geomancy here. So I did do enough. Wow, I get the freeze, but he thaws. So non-essential hacks is not essential. I'm actually gonna calc this real quick to see if I need to Ice Beam one more time. Scissor, Choice Band versus Xerneas. Bullet Punch does 74 to 87% on bulky. What about if it's not bulky? If it's not bulky, then I can KO. But assume we have to assume it's bulky because we can't take the risk, and that is still a guaranteed KO. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some rocks up here, because whatever he brings in is not like he has some things that resist rocks, but it breaks the sash on Deoxys. I'm going to Ice Beam here, even though I know he outspeeds. He ends up taking me out with a Moonblast, which is expected, but I can come in with Scissor and take him out relatively easily with a Banded Bullet Punch. Looking at his team, even though Jirachi resists Banded Bullet Punch, his only thing that really wants to take it is Giratina. And even then, Giratina is not a super fan of taking that, but I am able to take out Xerneas relatively easily with Scissor. So we'll see what he ends up going into next. Scissor may be able to do some potential cleaning against this team, because if I weaken Azumarill and okay, he's just gonna straight up sack Deoxys attack unless it's E-Speed. Yeah, that I can't say I agree with this play. You have like 76 defense uninvested. And even if you have like a rash nature or something, that lowers defense if you're mixed. Wow, you have Focus Band. That has like a 10% chance of working. Focus Band. Are we for real right now? If Focus Band kicks again on Volt Switch, I'm actually going to be really, really angry. Why can't you just run a Sash? Gosh dang it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That is really annoying. But looking at this guy's team, fire types have the potential to do a lot of work. He ends up going for a Poison Jab. His Focus Band doesn't end up kicking, thank goodness. But I'm going to go out into my Gengar here to probably force his hand into Scissor. Or Azumarill if he wants to go into Azumarill, but I don't think he does. Although if he just wants to sack Azumarill, then I'm okay. I'm okay with that, man. But he does have a lot of priority remaining on his team in the form of Shadow Sneak and Giratina O, which comes out here. He also has Bullet Punch here and Aqua Jet here. I'm going into Arceus predicting the... I'm actually gonna... Yeah, I'm just doubling out into Arceus. Because I do not want to take Shadow Sneak from this thing, and that would be very bad. He ends up going for a Shadow Force, which is fine by me, because this allows me to get a free SD up, and go from there. Because at that point, Earthquake takes out Jirachi, E-Speed takes out Azumarill, Earthquake can take out Giratina O. Although I don't think I'm faster. I'm going to EQ though. We will see. At this point, oh whoops, he's immune. I am an idiot. Gosh dang it, Geo, what you doing? That was probably a really, really idiotic play. He's probably like, LOL, look at noob, but I get the flinch, so that's cool. The Hacks gods are like, I see you there. I see you messing up there, and they're gonna give me the Iron Head crit flinch in return. So I'm gonna be able to take him out with another Iron Head. You're gonna catch a bunch of Iron Heads. I know that's somebody else's joke, but I'm using it in this video. And looking at his team, Jirachi dies to Earthquake, Scissor dies to Earthquake, I think, and Azumarill dies to E-Speed. And even then, I can probably, unless this is Banzor, if it's Banzor, then I can potentially lose Arceus here, which would be kind of bad. But I think that I already have the components needed for a late game cleaning from Gengar or a late game sweep from Xerneas. He ends up being Mega Scissor Bullet Punch, which takes me out. I'm fine by that. I will take that. I'm going to go into Rotom, and I'm going to Willow, because I think I can live a Bullet Punch. And I can outspeed, which is cool. I think I outspeed. Anyway, Willow is going to hurt any 3 of his Mons. He ends up SDing with Megazord, which is scary. I'm going to Hydro Pump, though, and see how much damage I'm going to do with this Hydro Pump. Because nothing else on my team wants to take a Bullet Punch from a Mega Scissor, frankly. That actually does a lot of damage. And he Bug Bites, which is annoying. Taking my Chesto Berry, I see you there. I'm going to Volt Switch, though. Although I fully expect him to knock me out right here. He may actually be able to clean me out with Mega Scissor. Bullet Punch doesn't end up taking me out, which is great. Which means that I can go into Gengar here and potentially win. Because I will outspeed Jirachi, unless it's Scarfed. But I don't think it's going to be Scarfed. Although looking at his team, if he has a Scarfer, it will be Jirachi. He ends up going into Azumarill, which is fine by me. I can take him out with a Sludge Bomb. Unless he's just trying to play around and then doubles out into Jirachi here. But that'd be fine by me, because then I get a speed boost and I can be more well equipped to deal with Jirachi. Unless he wants to flinch me to death, and that's not cool. But we're gonna see what he ends up going for here. Please, showdown, please. Please, showdown. We're checking for lag. Looks like we are lagging a little bit. Lag, please. Lag, please. No. Okay, so we end up Mega Evolving there, and we just take a Azumarill out from stock with a Sludge Bomb. So he is down to Jirachi. He can still win the game. If you Scarf Rachi, and he has to flinch Gengar to death with Scarf Rachi in order to win. So here's Jirachi. If he's not Scarf Rachi, he loses right here. But if he is Scarf Rachi, I'm going to go into Rotom and sack that. Let me see. Please go, please go. You are not Scarfracci, and I'm able to take you out. So that is a good game. Very, very good game. We end up getting about 13 points, which puts us over 1,400, which means we are like 90 points away or something stupid. Not team builder. I meant to go to ladder, which means we're like 90 points away. I showed you guys at the beginning of the episode, but I'm checking again for reference. 1487 is where we need to go, so we are officially 81 points away from completing the series. Don't think we'll get there tomorrow, but we'll see. That'd be pretty cool if we complete it in 1 week. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, please make sure to leave a like. This really does help show support for the channel and the stuff that I'm doing here. Additionally, make sure to answer today's comment question of the day, which is opinions on Mega Scissor. Do you guys like Scissor or Mega Scissor more? After that, make sure to subscribe if you guys are enjoying the constant content. With that, I'll catch you on the flip-flop.